Hi everyone, welcome back. So I have one of the emboss and cut folders that I got in a Simon Says stamp kit forever ago. Feels like that now. As well as the So Talkative stamp set. I'm going to use that today. And the Brilliantly Vibrant coloured pencils from Tonic Studios that came in a kit a couple of months ago. So what I did was I cut and embossed. It literally cuts that centerpiece of this little panel out, as well as embossing the image, which I know you can't see at the moment because it's kind of bright. And I then just measured around the embossed detail around the edge, and it's about a 3-inch square card, piece of paper. So what I then did was took the Tonic Studios coloured pencils and just went very lightly over the top. This is not a super thick cardstock, so you have to be a little careful, otherwise you will literally smush your embossed or raised areas down if you're too hard when you're colouring in. But this looks so good. I think I prefer on craft colour cardstock, and I have done a video on that, but this worked out quite, turned out to be quite a sweet little card. And it's also kind of artsy because of the lines of the pencils and things like that. So, but very, very soft. It's not, super bright, but I used pretty much every color in the pencil case. So all I'm doing, like I say, is just going very lightly and coloring over the top of the images, all the same color, all the same flowers, got the same color and all that. So once I had done that, and it was pretty much the same thing, just going around the entire image, I then have a piece of 8 by 4 inch cardstock that I scored at 4 inches, and that creates a 4 by 4 piece of card. So there's the image all coloured in. And to be able to stamp in the centre of that piece, I decided to put a piece of the same white cardstock, just stick it behind it. And that gives me something to actually stamp my sentiment onto. And you'll see in a second, it's not even a full piece of cardstock. There's like a corner that's cut out, but it doesn't matter. It's just so that I can stamp in that center bit. You could also pop that front piece up kind of like a frame, and create shakers and all sorts of things with it. But I wanted to keep this really simple. I needed something just to do. Sometimes you need to get out of your head. So I wanted to use the pencils, and I wanted to use this little cut and emboss folder, which I still hadn't used since I had it. And it's very sweet. It's got a lovely little image on it. Right, so when I came to stamping the sentiment, the back of my card piece, or the image, is, I've already got the tape on the back there just to speed things up for you guys, and so it wouldn't really stick to my my platform here, so I just taped it down temporarily and then lined up my sentiment stamp and used some archival jet black ink to stamp the sentiment on there. And I went with black because it's mostly going to be like a black and white card, and you'll see that in a second. But also I went around the edge on the embossed line that's sort of framing the whole thing. I went around that with the black pencil that was in the case, so it all ties in. So now I've got I'm just going to take the double-sided tape off the back here and get it stuck to a black panel piece of cardstock, which you'll see in a second. I stick wonky and have to take it off. So thankfully I didn't stick it too hard, and it did come off. But I think this was about 1/4 inch, so bigger. So if the cut and emboss piece is about 3 inches, this is 3 1/4 by 3 1/4, and then we've got a 4-inch card. So you'll see there'll be a bigger white border around this piece. I think in the old days we called these toppers. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. It's been a while. And then just taking the double-sided tape off the back of this, and then I will line it up on the front of the card, and that is the card done. It's very simple. The colouring takes a little while, so I don't know if this is one that you could mass produce in full force, but it's I think it turned out to be quite a sweet little card. And you could color those embossed images different ways. You could ink around the edge to highlight them. You could add ink to the folder before you ran your paper through to create like a letterpress effect. Lots of things you can do with embossing folders. This one obviously happens to have die cut the center out, but you can do the same thing with any embossing folder. So I hope you enjoyed this, guys. Sometimes we just need to take a step back and do something really simple and quick, and well, the coloring wasn't quick, but do something really mindful for ourselves. And so coloring these images in, it did that for me on that particular day. So anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this. I hope you like this, and I hope you give it a whirl. Until next time, bye for now.